Hey there, it's Carl and Liam here from PresentationExpressions.com. Today, Liam's going to be talking to you about how to have a smooth, problem-free presentation. So let's let Liam take over and get started here.
Thanks very much, Carl. So, as Carl just mentioned, I'm going to be talking about how to make a smooth, problem-free presentation. So the first thing that you want to do, of course, is get all your eggs in the row. And what I mean by that is, so even as seasoned presenters, sometimes we can experience technical and also venue-related problems. Okay, so it's all about preparation. That's your main thing that you have to think about. So, remember, if you don't prepare, as the saying goes, if anything can go wrong, it will. Okay, and we certainly don't want that to happen for your presentation. So, always do a venue inspection. Even if you've been to this venue before, check the venue out again, because things could have changed, for all sorts of reasons. Okay. So one of the first things that I would always suggest you check is the temperature. So is it hot? Is it cold? How do you change the temperature? Okay, how do you raise the temperature or lower the temperature? Okay, so be careful with that. Very, very important. You don't want your audience falling asleep. Okay. The other thing to do is your electrical outlets. Now we all know that different countries have different outlets. Okay, so check that everything fits. If it doesn't, have a solution with you. Have an adapter. So you've got to check that your equipment is suitable for the equipment at the venue itself. Okay. Also, the other thing you want to check is the arrangement of the chairs. This is also very important, and it's a very good idea. To arrive early, because sometimes you might have to set that room up yourself. Okay, maybe they haven't set those chairs out for you. So the other thing to do is check your equipment as well as the equipment of the venue. And now if you're going to use your own laptop as an example, okay, check that there's enough battery power in your laptop. Even if you're planning to use the electrical outlets, still make sure you have battery power. Things can go wrong and will go wrong sometimes. Also, check the overhead projector or the projection system within the venue. This can vary obviously from venue to venue, and although projectors are very good nowadays and can match most computers, you might come across the odd projector that's a little bit difficult to operate with. Know how to operate it. And if you're going to use any kind of remote control device, have spare batteries for that remote control. Okay? Because again, things can go wrong, it's an easy thing to forget. Also, microphone check. If you're using a large room to do your presentation, check the microphone, make sure you've got no feedback, and of course also check those speakers. And lastly here about technical support. Make sure that you can contact someone at a moment's notice if there is any technical problems or are any technical problems. So, other considerations you might want to think about. Back up your presentation on a USB stick. Okay, always a good idea. Something might happen to your computer on the journey. Okay, so always back your presentation up. Have a printed version of your presentation also for similar reasons, but maybe also the person you're presenting to or the audience you're presenting to want a copy of it after you leave. Also make sure that your attendees know how to get to the venue. Okay, this can be problematic sometimes, in a big complex as an example. And always have a glass of water available for your presentation. You don't want to suffer from that dry throat situation. Okay, not a good situation to be in. And remember, presentations, this is not the time to hold your personal cell phone calls. Okay, turn your cell phone off. Okay. You don't want any interruptions. So, to summarize very quickly for you, venue inspection. Check the temperature, electrical outlets, and the chair setup in the venue. Equipment test. Check the battery power remaining in your laptop, even if you are going to use the electrical outlets at the venue. Check that your remote control has sufficient battery power also. Check the microphone and speakers. And remember, get a contact name and number for any technical support. Other considerations: back up your presentation on a USB stick. Have a printed version of your presentation available that you want to leave, but again, if technical problems arise, you might need it yourself. Check that the attendees know where the venue is. Always have a glass of water available. We don't want any dry throat happening. And always turn your cell phone off, I beg your pardon. So, the action for this particular tip. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Check the list that we've just discussed in this tip here, and how much do you already know? Okay, and then once you've established that, okay, anything that you've learned, or even all of it actually, yeah, in fact, why not use all of it? Use it in your next presentation, okay, or try the presentation in front of your friends, okay? And as always, please leave your comments and feedback on this tip.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, excellent, Liam.
Yeah,
thank
you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think Liam's offered some really good tips and advice there, and I think everyone should make use of that because, like you said, if you don't plan properly, things can go wrong. So thank you for that, and hope to see you guys again soon here at PresentationExpressions.com.
Thanks very much, Carl.